All right, guys, as promised, here we are, March 3rd. All right, so we're looking at a Monday night here. Holy shit, some pretty big news. As expected, I didn't think it would last, quite honestly. 2025 coinage updated on the US Mint website under circulating coins. And pretty big developments here. For those of you that have been closely monitoring specifically 2025 Lincoln cents, the numbers, boy, the numbers don't lie. And I kind of had a feeling that that something was going on here. Let's just jump right in. Lincoln cents. Huge production month in the month of February. We have now updated figures. Denver, the Denver mintage through the month of February, staggering 245,400,000. Looks like they're going to be tracking at this pace if they produce regularly throughout the rest of the year, about 1.5 billion. All right, based off of that number. Philadelphia Mint, 350 million. So respectively, the Denver Mint had cranked out what looks to be 180 million-ish coins. And for the Philadelphia minted examples, they went large and in charge there. 230 million made for a cumulative number of 595,400,000. Staggering numbers to say the least. All due in part to President Trump's executive order about shutting down the production of Lincoln cents. And I doubt that they would have, the mints rather, I doubt that they would have produced those kind of numbers in just 12 days. From the beginning of the month all the way to the Super Bowl, because after the Super Bowl, President Trump had made that announcement. So that's, of course, big news. So big, huge fallout. We're going to take a look at the secondary market numbers. It's staggering. The chips are falling, but they haven't quite fallen where to I expected them to be. At least not yet. Considering that there are quite a fair amount of 2025 Lincoln cent rolls and boxes currently out in circulation, there could be a lot of things happening here. So Jefferson Nichols, okay, Denver Mint 72,240,000. Philadelphia Mint produced 84 million, little uptick there, not a whole lot. Roosevelt Dimes again, 128 million for Denver, 113 million for Philadelphia. So obviously the production had shifted to doing the Lincoln cents. Because normally we see Roosevelt Dimes higher than the Denver. Philadelphia is higher than Denver. This time it's kind of flip-flopped. The quarter program, they are now into producing the second coin out of the 5. So now we are at 99.5 million for the Denver, 108 million and a half for the Philadelphia, and that's including the second run of the next coin. And then, of course, we have the others, Candy Half Dollars, Native American Dollar. Huge, huge numbers. Did I think, personally, that it would be at these great heights? Absolutely not. I was thinking in my head that, probably the Denver Mint will probably be right around maybe 175, 180. And then Philadelphia, because February on record has always been more of a bigger record-producing month in coins, in spite of the fact that there's less days in the month of February. Philadelphia, huge number, 350 million. I did not see that coming to fruition that way. I was looking at maybe 200 million. So a pretty substantial jump right there. And this is all figuring that, the executive order did go into play and that they did curtail the production of Lincoln cents, as we all thought maybe happened. I firmly believe that the mints are producing a full round of all the coins every production date that they possibly can muster to get it all done. I don't think these numbers were achieved in the 10 to 12 days since the announcement by President Trump. So I thought I'd let you guys know that. Unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of fallout. There's going to be a lot of losers in this. And it's going to be kind of a shit fest, to be absolutely honest, because we're dealing with eBay here. eBay, the number one kind of like target when it comes to sales of just about anything under the sun, especially collectibles. So let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers, guys. So all I did was type in 2025 Lincoln cents. Yeah, so, these are currently listings that are available. 514 to be exact, which is a very heavy number. And I think more people out there trying to look for these have brought more supply to the secondary market. And now, essentially, we're flooded, is what it comes down to. It's going to be a literal race to the bottom. And what do I mean by that? People are throwing up, these numbers. They're doing best offers for one roll, for 8 rolls, for a full box, what have you. It's going to be whoever beats the next person, right? Like, for example, this one right here, the single roll of 2025 at $35 or best offer. I could shoot an offer for $25 with him. And, he may not accept it. He might feel like, oh, that's too low, but I might go to Joe Schmo, another seller on the platform, and do the same offer, and they'll accept it. So it's all going to be data that's going to be archived. That's going to be concrete, legitimate sold prices for these coins. It's going to be, whoever kind of gets off the schneid here. And like I said, from probably damn near the get-go, that these things are a hot potato in the truest sensible form. Probably more so than, probably more of a grenade than it is a hot potato. Because, grenades, they'll explode and, make a mess and then you're done. That's what I'm seeing here on these coins. It's going to be too much supply. Who's going to be the first one to just sell out of all their coin? I will say this, it's not going to go to zero. Just like any other bank box, they're going to hold that $100 to $150 per box price. For some of the lucky sellers that ended up selling their full bank boxes for $2,000 to $2,500, I wouldn't quite spend the money yet off of those sales. Because these things, have a habit because of just active secondary market fluidity. We have the habit of seeing these things kind of unwind back to the sellers, and then you're left, having to refund all the money that was spent on a bank box or two. So yeah, I mean, just checking things out here. Of course, the 2025 S proof cents are another topic of conversation. Those have kind of a cap to them right now. Up until the silver proof set comes out, then that's going to introduce more supply. I don't think it's going to be quite that much. Maybe, I've heard like 180,000 to 200,000 sets, okay, which is not a whole lot. And, there's no end game here. We don't know if the Lincoln Cent is truly going to go out of production. There's just too many multi-level things that have to happen in order for that to come into the truest form. We're just not seeing it yet. Outside of, the president doing his executive order 3 weeks ago, that's it. There is no other action in press releases from the Federal Reserve, from the Treasury, nothing. It is dead freaking silent. And I think, it's going to end up scaring a lot of people. It's just going to do that. If I had these personally, the best course of action is just to, do one of two things. Throw up a full box, start it at face value, and let it ride. And then whatever you get from it is what the true market value is for a full box. For the rolls, I'd probably do them in lots of 5, do the same thing. Start out at face value, let it ride. Throw in shipping and just go about it that way. But you can see, there's someone here selling it for $19.95 a P-Mint. D-mints are up there in the mid to upper 20s, and I'm firmly believing that these things are going to drop even more. We are not done seeing the market move on these. Because guess what? If the numbers for the month of February isn't any indication, we are going to see more production in the month of March. Another banner year for production for circulating coins. And it's usually like that, ladies and gentlemen, all the way up to about the month of June. Because after that point, there's a lot of programs and other things that are in play that the mint is going to be focusing in on. And then the circulating coins, especially the Jefferson nickel, Roosevelt dime, are kind of going to weighing down a little bit heading into the summer months, like it was last year and like it was the year before. All right, so the production heavy months are still ahead of us, all the way up until the beginning of summer, and then things kind of die down. Now, the only exception I would say is the quarters, because of the last couple 3 or 4 American Women design releases. They're going to be producing those as intended. They're 80 million per mint, whatever, which is going to be a rather small number, but not enough to really ignite the secondary market for rolls of those particular coins. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these sold listings, and then that's it. That's all I got for you. Boy, man, how things have fallen. We got a full bank box just sold within moments. I had done a check on these about half an hour ago. 2025 Denver Lincoln Cent penny box, $600, which puts it at just over $10 a roll, $10.40 or something to that effect per roll. Yeah, I mean, huge discounts selling these for a full bank box. All right, and talk about kind of like passing the grenade over. All he did was put $600 best offer, and just went with it. It may not have sold for $600. It could have sold for $500. It's anybody's guess. But what we do know off of just that number, without really knowing if there was a best offer that was accepted, that is a huge drop compared to what we saw about 4 days ago when boxes were selling for $2,000. So again, like I said, I'm not stupid here. I said that these things are going to be a hot potato. There's a lot of uncertainty that is closely following these coins as we speak, and no one should be speculatively buying these. No one in their wildest imagination should be specking on these, with 2026 semi-quincentennial coinage program coming and waiting in the wings here in about 9 months. So, I mean, look at the numbers. The numbers, they're free falling. Yeah, I mean, you guys know that song. Full bank box 2025D, $950. Of course, that's and that's what I mean. It's like one guy beating out the other. You had this one that sold for $950. You had the other guy, probably a few hours later that sold his for $600. It's a race to the friggin' bottom. And, I knew it, I prophesized this event because these numbers, $50 rolls, $150 rolls, $28 rolls, they are not sustainable. These are not sustainable prices for a regular circulating coinage. Again, we are the nation that produces more 1 cent denomination coin compared to any other. And that's not going to change. And then we're seeing that true to form in a good old supply versus demand and all that stuff coming very true here on this. We have more supply that's been kicked in from the U.S. Mint in the month of February. And now we're seeing these prices hemorrhage all over the place. So there you go. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts as these things continue to plummet. If you're getting these, sell them right away. Sell them for 1 day auction listings, do the good old face value, bid it up, charge for shipping, and get off of them immediately because we're in a new month and we will know at the end of March where the new updated numbers are going to be. Guess what? They're going to be higher than what they are right now. So obviously this whole executive order thing was probably more of a red herring because we haven't heard anything else, right? Nobody's going to take it seriously until there's some sort of legislation, because we're the United States. And then, in order to make kind of like these big business decisions, they have to pass it. They have to, legislate bills and things like that in order to make these things go away. We're not like the nation of Canada, where their Treasury Secretary said, "Okay, we're just going to stop." They play by the rules a lot more loosely than we do. So, it's kind of a big deal because the 1 cent denomination coin has been with us for over 230 years. 230 years. And it's just gonna, it's 230 years worth of coinage. Billions upon trillions of coins produced just in the last 40 years. And there's just it's plentiful. I'd like to say it's rarity, but nothing is indicating rarity. Nothing is like the 2024 D Jefferson nickel as of right now. That's like the only safe thing that you can assure to make some money on, like real secondary market flippage kind of money. This is crazy stuff that we're seeing here, and I hope you guys get off of these immediately, because you think 750 is going to hold for a box. That's the type of money you will realize on what we call day one sales of a new release of pennies that generally occurs the first or second week of the year. And here we are, first week of March, and we're talking about $750 brand new 2025 bank boxes. Absolutely freaking not. This is not going to stand. And for those of you out there that have these, get off of them. If you paid face value for them and you just want them so you have sealed equity, that's fine. But if you're doing it as a power play to flip and make some quick cash out right now. All right, don't hold on to these because they will keep dropping. I guarantee it. That's going to go ahead and do it for this one. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Some pretty big news here. Other people have already reported on this. I'm a little late to it because I've just been busy. But thank you guys for all of your views and support. Keep on collecting, keep on hunting, and I will see you on the next coin video. So long.